Ever thought about, dipping your toes into freelancing, but then stop because you felt like, well, you have absolutely zero experience? It's super common. So today we're doing a deep dive into this really practical source, Zero to Freelancer, your fast start guide.
Mm.
Our mission here is to basically unpack a clear, actionable plan from it. Show you how you might land that very first client fast, even if you're starting totally from scratch.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is how this guide just cuts through that whole idea that you need like years of experience or fancy degrees to even start. It really hammers home that success is more about having a smart strategy and honestly just sticking with it, which kind of opens the door for pretty much anyone who's curious and willing to give it a shot. It really levels the playing field for getting paid online.
Okay, so let's get into it. The first big step, the foundation really, is picking a service. But that's where people get stuck, right? Thinking, I don't have any marketable skills. What does the guide say about finding that first thing you can actually sell?
Right. The guide's first point is basically, you probably do have a skill you can sell. It might just be hiding in plain sight. Forget the formal stuff for a second. Think about what you actually enjoy doing, or maybe what friends always ask you for help with. Could be simple writing, maybe some basic graphic design, managing social media, even just research or data entry, making things tidy. The main idea is just start there. You don't need to be a quote-unquote pro right away.
Okay. But that brings up another sticking point. People often feel they need to learn everything first, become perfect. They spend months, maybe years, just learning. What's the guide's take on how much you really need to know before jumping in? Sounds a bit controversial, maybe.
Yeah, it kind of is, but it's practical. The key insight is learn just enough. Seriously, don't wait until you feel 100% ready. That day might never come. Think of it like learning to drive. You don't need to understand the whole engine, just how to operate the car safely, right? You can pick up the specific skills you need pretty quickly with YouTube tutorials or maybe some free online courses like on Coursera or Skillshare. Turns out, clients often care way more about the result you give them than whether you have a certificate.
Right. Results over credentials.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so you've got your skill, learned just enough. What about the portfolio? If you have zero past clients, how do you show proof? That feels like a real catch-22.
Yeah, the classic portfolio problem. This is where the guide gets pretty smart. It basically says, make your own proof. Create a simple portfolio without client work. So if you're a rater, write 2 or 3 blog posts on topics you know. A designer, mock up a couple of logos or social media graphics. Developer, build a simple landing page. You can use free tools for this too, like Canva, Google Docs, GitHub. It's totally doable.
Got it. So create your own samples. Makes sense. With those samples ready, where do you actually, put yourself out there? Where do the clients find you?
Okay, so the next step is getting visible. The guide really emphasizes setting up shop on freelance platforms. Think Fiverr, Upwork, maybe people per hour. That first impression is huge. So focus on having a decent professional-looking photo. Write a bio that sounds like you, but also highlights what you can do.
Yeah.
And describe those sample projects clearly. That's your digital storefront, basically.
And then comes this strategic move the guide talks about, offering a no-brainer first gig. It sounds simple, maybe too simple, like just offer something cheap. But is there more to it? Like the psychology behind getting that first review? Because, yeah, it can feel like you're undervaluing yourself.
Exactly. That no-brainer gig isn't just about the money, though you do get paid. It's strategic. It's all about getting that crucial social proof. Think of those first 1 or 2 reviews as like rocket fuel for your profile. They build trust instantly. So you offer something low risk, easy for you to deliver quickly at a really attractive price point. Once you get those positive reviews, that builds credibility, and then you can start raising your prices for more complex work. It's a stepping stone.
Okay, so it's a launch strategy. You can't just set up your profile and wait for magic to happen, right? The guide talks about being proactive.
Definitely not passive waiting.
Yeah.
Especially on places like Upwork, the guide stresses actively applying for jobs, maybe even daily when you start. But here's the key. Apply smartly. Don't just send generic copy-paste proposals. That never works. You've got to personalize each one. Mention something specific from the client's job post, show you actually read it, and clearly explain how you were going to help them solve their problem or reach their goal.
Right, tailor it every time. And connected to that, the guide really drives home that those first few jobs are critical. Those initial reviews set the stage. What does that mean for how you actually handle those first assignments?
It means you got to over-deliver. Seriously, those first few projects are your reputation builders. So Be incredibly responsive, deliver on time, or even early. Maybe add a little unexpected extra value. Going that extra mile creates happy clients, which leads to great reviews, and that positive buzz is what builds momentum. Your early reputation really can make or break your start.
So you're basically turning those initial clients into your biggest fans, almost like your first marketing team.
You got it. And then the final piece, to really lock in that momentum, the guide advises simply politely asking for a review or a testimonial after you've successfully finished a project. Don't be pushy, but a gentle reminder can make a big difference. Every positive word builds your credibility and makes it easier to land the next gig.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here? Or, I mean, the core message seems to be that starting freelancing with zero experience. It's totally possible, but it's not magic. It takes action, right? Consistency. And really focusing on providing value from day one. Like the guide says, you've got this.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave everyone with. Just take a second and consider what's one simple skill or interest you have right now that someone might pay for, even a small one. And then thinking about what we just discussed, what's maybe one tiny immediate step you could take this week to start putting this advice into action? You might be surprised how quickly you could start getting paid for something you actually enjoy.